The nomination of Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense sent shockwaves through Washington. A former Fox News commentator, Hegseth's background raised eyebrows. His experience in government was limited. His military service, while commendable, lacked the high-level command experience typically associated with the role. Hegseth's nomination was seen by many as a sign of the times. The Trump administration had often prioritized loyalty over experience. Hegseth, a staunch Trump ally, fit this mold. His appointment sparked immediate debate. Could he handle the immense responsibilities of the Pentagon? Supporters pointed to Hegseth's charisma and communication skills. They saw him as a strong voice for the military. Critics, however, were far more skeptical. They questioned his temperament and judgment. His history of inflammatory remarks raised concerns. Hegseth's nomination highlighted a growing divide in American politics. It became a lightning rod for discussions about military leadership, political polarization, and the role of experience in government. The stakes were high. The Department of Defense was not a platform for on-the-job training. Pete Hegseth's journey from Fox News to the Pentagon is a study in modern conservatism. His path is not just a personal story, but a reflection of the broader shifts within the Republican Party and the conservative movement in America. His transformation from student activist to national figure reveals much about the evolving nature of the Republican Party. It highlights the changing dynamics and the rise of a more assertive, media-savvy conservatism. Hegseth's early years offered hints of the path he would forge. Even as a young man, he displayed a keen interest in politics and a knack for leadership. At Princeton University, Hegseth was drawn to conservative circles. He found a community that shared his values and provided a platform for his burgeoning political ambitions. He became publisher of the Princeton Tory, a conservative student magazine known for its provocative stances. Under his leadership, the magazine tackled controversial issues head-on, often sparking heated debates on campus. Hegseth relished the role of provocateur. He thrived in environments where ideas clashed and where he could challenge the prevailing liberal orthodoxy. He courted controversy, challenging liberal orthodoxy at every turn. His boldness and willingness to speak out made him a prominent figure on campus. Hegseth's time at Princeton honed his skills as a polemicist. He learned to craft compelling arguments and to present them in a way that captured attention and sparked discussion. He learned the art of crafting a soundbite, of framing arguments in stark, attention-grabbing terms. This ability to distill complex ideas into memorable phrases would become one of his trademarks. These skills would serve him well in the years to come. As he transitioned from student activism to a career in media and politics, his ability to communicate effectively became a key asset. After Princeton, Hegseth's ambitions grew. He sought to make a broader impact, both in the media and in the political arena. He set his sights on a larger stage. His career took him to Fox News, where he became a prominent conservative voice, and to the Pentagon, where he served in a key role. Hegseth's rise coincided with the rise of a new brand of conservatism. This movement was characterized by its boldness, its embrace of media, and its willingness to challenge established norms. This brand was brash, unapologetic, and deeply skeptical of traditional institutions. It resonated with a new generation of conservatives who were looking for leaders who could articulate their frustrations and aspirations. Hegseth embodied this new conservatism. He was not afraid to speak his mind, to take on controversial issues, and to stand up for his beliefs, no matter the opposition. He was a warrior in the culture wars, eager to fight for his beliefs. Whether on the battlefield, in the media, or in the political arena, Hegseth's journey is a testament to the power of conviction and the impact of a well-crafted message. His story is a window into the heart of modern conservatism and a reflection of the changing landscape of American politics. Pete Hegseth's time at Princeton was marked by more than just conservative activism. It was also marked by controversy, particularly surrounding his views on LGBTQ+ issues. Hegseth's rhetoric on this front was often inflammatory, drawing condemnation from fellow students and faculty alike. As publisher of the Princeton Tory, Hegseth oversaw the publication of articles that were explicitly hostile to the LGBTQ+ community. These articles often equated homosexuality with deviance and immorality. They sparked outrage on campus, leading to protests and calls for Hegseth's resignation. Hegseth refused to back down. He defended the articles, arguing that they represented legitimate viewpoints. He claimed that the university was attempting to stifle conservative voices. The controversy cemented Hegseth's reputation as a firebrand, unwilling to compromise his beliefs. The controversy surrounding Hegseth's anti-LGBTQ+ rhetoric would follow him throughout his career. It became a point of contention during his time at Fox News and resurfaced during his confirmation hearings for Secretary of Defense. Critics argued that his past views disqualified him from holding such a high office. Section 4. Past Scandals and Extreme Views. Pete Hegseth's nomination as Secretary of Defense was shadowed by past scandals and controversial statements. His career, which had been marked by both achievements and controversies, came under intense scrutiny. These incidents, dredged up from his past, painted a picture of a man with questionable judgment and a penchant for extreme views. The media and public alike were quick to dissect every detail, bringing to light actions and statements that many found deeply troubling. The accusations against Hegseth were varied and serious. They ranged from personal misconduct to professional missteps, each adding a layer of complexity to his public persona. Allegations of extramarital affairs surfaced, calling into question his character and judgment. These claims, though personal, had significant implications for his professional life, casting a shadow over his integrity. Hegseth's defenders dismissed these allegations as personal attacks, irrelevant to his qualifications for the job. They argued that his professional capabilities should be the focus, not his personal life. However, the accusations stuck, adding to the perception of Hegseth as someone with something to hide. The public's trust was eroded, and the narrative of a man with a hidden agenda began to take hold. Beyond the personal scandals, Hegseth's policy positions also raised red flags. His views on various issues were seen as extreme and out of touch with mainstream perspectives. He had advocated for pardoning soldiers accused of war crimes, arguing that they were being unfairly targeted. This stance was controversial, as it seemed to undermine the principles of accountability and justice within the military. This stance alarmed many, who saw it as a dangerous undermining of military justice. Critics argued that such pardons could set a dangerous precedent, eroding the rule of law within the armed forces. Hegseth's views on torture were equally troubling. He had been a vocal advocate for the use of enhanced interrogation techniques, a position that sparked widespread debate and condemnation. He had defended the use of enhanced interrogation techniques, arguing that they were necessary to extract information from terrorists. This position was highly controversial, as it clashed with both ethical standards and international law. This position put him at odds with international law and the views of many within the intelligence community. The debate over the use of such techniques highlighted the deep divisions within the government and society over how to balance security and human rights. Public opinion was sharply divided, with some supporting Hegseth's hardline stance and others vehemently opposing it. The controversy surrounding his nomination became a focal point for broader debates about ethics, justice, and national security. As the Senate prepared to vote on his nomination, the nation watched closely. The outcome would not only determine Hegseth's future, but also signal the direction of U.S. defense policy in the years to come. The debate over Pete Hegseth's nomination was more than just a political battle. It was a reflection of the deep ideological divides within the country. The outcome would have lasting implications for the nation's approach to defense and justice. Section 5. The woke military, a perceived threat. One of Pete Hegseth's most consistent targets was what he perceived as the woke culture creeping into the military. He often spoke passionately about this issue, believing that the military's primary focus should be on strength and readiness, not on social issues. He argued that this trend, characterized by a focus on diversity and inclusion, was weakening the armed forces and undermining their combat effectiveness. Hegseth believed that the emphasis on social justice initiatives was taking valuable time and resources away from essential military training and preparedness. Hegseth's rhetoric on this issue resonated with a segment of the population. Many of his supporters felt that the military should remain a bastion of traditional values, and were concerned that the focus on diversity was a distraction from the military's core mission. He often framed his arguments in terms of national security. Hegseth warned that a military preoccupied with social issues would be less capable of defending the nation against its enemies. He claimed that the military's focus on social justice was distracting from its core mission of fighting and winning wars. According to Hegseth, the time spent on diversity training could be better used for combat drills and strategic planning. He argued that diversity initiatives were eroding unit cohesion and creating divisions within the ranks. Hegseth believed that a unified, homogeneous force was more effective and that the push for diversity was causing unnecessary friction among soldiers. Hegseth's critics countered that his views were outdated and out of touch. They argued that the modern military must evolve to reflect the changing demographics and values of the society it serves. They argued that the military had a responsibility to reflect the diversity of the nation it served. Critics pointed out that a diverse military is better equipped to understand and engage with different cultures around the world. They pointed to the contributions of women and minorities in the armed forces as evidence that diversity strengthened rather than weakened the military. Examples of successful missions led by diverse teams were often cited to support this argument. The debate over the woke military reflected a broader cultural clash within American society. This clash was not just about the military, but about the direction in which the country was heading. It was a clash between those who embraced traditional values and those who championed social progress. This cultural divide was evident in many aspects of American life, from politics to education to the workplace. Hegseth positioned himself firmly on one side of this divide. He became a prominent voice for those who believed that the military should resist the influence of what they saw as a politically correct agenda. The discussion around the woke military is ongoing, with strong opinions on both sides. As the military continues to evolve, this debate will likely remain a contentious issue, reflecting the broader societal tensions between tradition and progress.